Buffalo school system, specifically their legal representatives in the city, like the city attorneys that specifically work for Buffalo Public Schools, right? So I'm not sure if that's the city of Buffalo buying these attorneys and having them protect them, or if it's like the schools, like lawyers for the schools as their own thing. But either way, long story short, the Buffalo school system has been intentionally not reporting the assaults of between student, and then has also used the Buffalo Police Department's school resource officers to write reports and then had their influence over those officers to then close the reports.
Hello, my friends. My name is Jack Ducard, and this is Sentinel Circle. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be of a heavier topic. It's about the situation that's going on with angry cops. We're going to first talk about the situation so that way it provides context, because I found that not a lot of people do know what's going on. And then we will talk about the media, their reaction, and how disgusting their interactions with the public regarding the situation has been. I'm going to give the floor now to Angry Cops, aka Rich High, so that way he can discuss in his own words what has been going on.
This person grabbed a male and a female child.
So it's a very low school?
Low grade school.
So like first through fifth.
Yeah. So kids under the age of 10.
Oh, fuck.
So it goes into the school and grabs a young female child and a male child and tries to leave. And I'm gonna parcel this story up in kind of the way that the information came in. At first, the information that came in was that there was one female child that was an attempted abduction. There was no report about the second child. Kind of a big deal. The second child, the boy, had pissed himself. And when his parents came, sorry, I'm getting fucked up. When his parents came to pick him up.
Take your time, brother.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
You good?
You're all right, man.
When his parents came to pick him up, the school did not disclose to the parent that the kid was a part of an attempted abduction. So when parents asked him, why did my kid piss his pants at school, the teachers and the people in charge did not tell them that there was an attempted abduction.
And now we'll cut to the second incident.
One of the cases that I had is a girl went to she got beat by her dad, who's a blood. He's a piece of shit. She got beat by her dad, and she went to a school counselor and said, my dad beats me. And the school counselor didn't report it. The school counselor's notes were like, this kid's a liar. She lies a lot about how cool she was at another school. And you're like, oh, that's normal kid lying shit. What do I give a f about that? So she didn't report it. And then the next incident happened where this girl had a video recording of, I forget if it was either her dad post beating her, or if it was during the beating, or if it was of her injuries. I think it was of her dad punching her. And she walks into the counselor's office while she's with another girl, plays the video, and the woman's like, is that you? And she's like, yeah, that's me. And then the girl walks out of the office. And then later on in the day, the counselor goes up to her and is like, hey, listen, what's going on with that video? Is that you? What's going on? She's like, yeah, that's me. My dad beats me all the time. And then the kid walked away. Not reported. Not reported to CPS, not reported to the police. The third time is when my case comes in. The kid comes into school beaten and bruised and swollen. And then they remove the kid from the parents' custody, right? And then that's when I get the investigation of child abuse.
But it took 3 fucking times to
It took 3 times.
And lastly, the third incident that he talked about.
This case might have been a fluke. It could have been kids experimenting and then one of them got scared. It could have been absolutely nothing. It still could be absolutely nothing. I've left 6 messages on a principal's voicemail saying, hey, I just need you to talk to me. I need the phone numbers of the parents. I only have the phone numbers of the kids. I don't want to call the kids. Please give me the phone numbers of the parents, of the adults of these kids, of the police report that you called 911 for to have police already show up. I just don't have the phone numbers for the parents, and I can't get a return phone call. How many times do I got to call a school principal to be like, hey, there's a potential sexual assault. I just need to talk to the parents. And I can't get a return phone call?
And now a statement from the Buffalo Public Schools. The Buffalo Public School District is aware of an unfortunate and recent allegation circulating in an online video. The district is prepared to vigorously address these untruths. The district has prioritized the safety and security of its students and staff every day. BPS is the second largest district in New York State with some 60 schools, 30,000 students, 7,000 staff, and any transgressions that may happen are handled swiftly with seriousness, integrity, fairness, and empathy. The Buffalo school systems maintain a close and professional relationship with the Buffalo School Department, Police Department, as a means to ensure the safety as a priority. When Angry Cops came out with the podcast, the reaction from the schools may have been disgusting, but the reaction from the media was 10 times worse.
So I'll be honest with you. I started watching this podcast and my first thought was, this is ridiculous.
What is this?
This is crazy. I'm listening to all these guys burp and just be absolutely foul.
You're looking at like the White Claws on the table.
And
is
so
alcohol involved here?
My
Where
first
are they?
thought is, okay, this can't actually be real. But then when you actually listen to the allegations, you unpack what he's saying and understand that this guy is, to an extent, a public figure in that A, he's paid for with taxpayer dollars, and B, he's also put out there on his social media pages his personality and for all to see and support. You understand that, okay, maybe he has a little bit of credence here, but it's a lot of credence.
But it doesn't end there, friends. Article after article after article has reported on Detective High's checkered past while ignoring the allegations of the Buffalo School District. Only 24 hours later, after the immense internet reaction, did the media actually start asking real questions of the Buffalo School District. In addition, the Fat Electrician posted a X post here. It says, a lot of people owe Angry Cops an apology. Buffalo School stats since September 2021. 17,772 times police responded to a call at one of their schools. 880 times an ambulance was needed. 357 assaults. 203 missing persons under the age of 12. 126 sexual assaults since September 2021. Now that you've seen the reaction from the media, we can begin to discuss what has happened regarding the Buffalo School District, Angry Cops, and the reaction from everybody involved. But first, we are going to take a quick break, and then followed by your comments, and then lastly, final thoughts. Hello, my friends. Jack Ducard here once again. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about our Patreon site, patreon.com/Sentinel Circle. It's free to join, but you can also donate to us for as little as $3 a month. That money that you donate to us at Sentinel Circle will be used to do things like build a website, fund in-person group meetings, and more. Again, that's patreon.com/Sentinel Circle. The link will always be in the description. Thank you for your time in this matter. Have a good day. Welcome back. So we're going to go into your comments today. This week was pretty busy, so from here on out, we'll just limit to about 5 to 6 comments a video. Unless it's fairly slow, then we can fit more in. So the first comment was from Homefront Forge. It says, Jack, I am humbled by your comments. We are all just guys out here trying to figure it out as we go. Thank you for pulling in the same direction. Well, thank you very much for your continued patronage here at Sentinel Circle Homefront. It is greatly appreciated what you have done for this community. The next comment came from Sam Fisher 9413. It says, Gen Z has been listening to the rest of us. I often find myself wishing millennials would have done the same, but we weren't lucky enough to have the red pill. Yes, it's good that Gen Z is finally taking life into their own hands. And they're forging their own path, and it's good to see that. I appreciate what they're trying to do, and I hope they continue to work on everything that they need to work on. Next comment. Jake Chapman 3161. Honestly, as a first-time viewer, I don't think you're doing any kind of bad at all. I'm not any kind of creator, so I can't really give you good advice to make your content better, except to say you will get better with time and experience, which I'm sure you're aware of. Experiment with how you make your videos, and I'm sure eventually you will find your niche. Have a great day, mate. Thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate your comments. And yes, it's going to take time, experimentation, until we find something that works. As long as I'm working on it a little bit every single day, I will improve. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the videos. It's greatly appreciated. Random Flower 711. I really like what you're trying to do, but I think the way you're going about it could be improved. First and foremost, your production quality really needs work. We're trying to do that here. Thank you very much, Random Flower. Write a script for your videos. Get a nice, clean, comforting background or backdrop. Stop leaning in and out of the camera. There's good amount of small tweaks that'll really drive your videos to the next level. Check out some of the things the YouTubers you enjoy do and don't do, and try to replicate some of them. I agree with you that men need their own spaces to be themselves, but you really got to question why you feel you can't be you around women. To me and most, that's not normal. You shouldn't feel like you're putting on a mask around half the population. This is not a dig, but I really think you should give one-on-one therapy an honest shot with a therapist you trust and can relate to. Therapy is not meant to help you get over your trauma, and I think most therapists will tell you that. Therapy is meant to help you develop the skills to cope with your trauma, shortcomings, intrusive thoughts, etc. in a healthy way. It seems you're looking for a support system and a community, which I can relate to. The best thing I found has been sports leagues. Playing pickup basketball with a group of guys has been really cathartic and helpful for me. There's nothing saying women can't come hoop with us, but they don't. Maybe give it a shot in your own life. Keep on keeping on, man, and I genuinely hope you find happiness. This comment was interesting to me. Obviously, as you can see, I've done a little bit of cleaning up back there because he is right in the sense that it could have been a little better. I admit that. When I first started recording these videos, the room that I have my computer in and everything is kind of like I don't want to say a closet, but I'm using it as a closet, and I don't really have a place to store a lot of these other boxes and stuff until I at least move and get more set up. It's going to take time. The second one is why I don't feel comfortable around women. I've said this many times. I'll go ahead and say it again. I've had some very negative experiences with women. A lot of the things that I have said in confidence to people have blown up in my face in my personal life, and that's always come from women. My mother was not very kind to me. My stepmother, she was okay. Like the only real positive role model or female role model I've had in my life would be my mother. Sorry to interrupt, but I actually meant grandmother when I said this, not mother. Sorry about that. When I was getting harassed in school, I went to a teacher, and that teacher did not do anything for me. That person happened to be a woman. The list goes on and on and on. Therapy one-on-one. The problem with therapy is they are mandated reporters. So again, you have to be very careful with what you say. Otherwise, you can wind up in a psychiatric hold. You can lose your freedoms. There's a lot of things that can happen, and you don't have a say in that regard. The other thing, too, is being put on medication. I mean, we can go on and on and on about medication, and I'll probably do a video in the future. To me, that's just not an answer. I personally have found that being in a group setting probably helps a little bit more because there's people to riff off of. You hear different takes, different all that stuff. Whereas one-on-one therapy is expensive. It really does not do much. And as you stated here, it's not meant to help you get over your trauma. It's meant to cope, which I don't need to pay $200 a visit to learn to cope. There are many different methods and ways to cope that you can find free on YouTube. Again, in a group therapy setting, you can also find that as well. And the whole point of Sentinel Circle is this is supposed to be free or low cost. I don't want people to have to shell $200 just to come over with their problems. We already have enough of that in this world. I'm trying to get it so that way people can walk off straight off the street, open up, and then hopefully they will be inspired to visit more and more often. Same thing with the channel. However, yes, I am trying to monetize it, but I'm trying to voluntarily monetize it, not involuntarily monetize it, if that makes sense. Meaning, you do not have to pay to participate. You pay to help the channel grow and become something bigger than it is right now. Lastly, with my schedule, sports leagues are kind of out of the question. I work full time. I'm doing this. But maybe that is something that I should try out. I don't really have any basketball courts around me. I got like a park, but that's way down the road, so I'd have to drive there, which again, I go to the gym a lot. There's I'm not trying to make excuses. I appreciate what you're trying to do, Random Flower. You're giving me ideas, but I've already gone over these ideas. A lot of them are just not feasible for me, but you know what? I applaud you for at least attempting. Thank you very much, sir. Another Homefront Forge comment. It says, I have a saying, nothing is obvious to the uninformed. It stems from the chastisement I received in my younger days and the frustrations I experienced later training young men. Part of the reason I got good at my trade was wanting to avoid being yelled at. Negative reinforcement has its place, but it must come with instruction. The apprentices I went easy on didn't get better and didn't last. The ones I was toughest on learned and lasted. Yes, I can understand where you're coming from, Homefront. Everybody learns different. And part of being a mentor and a teacher is learning how to reach out to those that they may not be getting it right away, but if you try different techniques, maybe they understand it. Like for me, I do better with one-on-one learning. To sit there in a group setting and try and do it, like I just tune out. I don't know why it's always been, but one-on-one, it works better for me, right? Being able to physically see and touch the item that I'm learning about is also good for me. However, I know that's not good for everybody. Some people just, you give them a book, they learn everything about it, right? But when it comes to practical instruction, they just, for some reason, they don't get it. It's always a balancing act. It's always trade-offs. And to sit there and say that one method is better than the other, yeah, that's a little too, it's too arrogant. But Homefront, I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that you're willing to teach and the fact that you're willing to be patient in the teaching process, that speaks volumes about you as a man and your character. As I stated before, I know people who don't want to teach. They want nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the point of the video that he's referencing is take the time. You don't have to instruct, but to lose your patience over something that someone doesn't know, that to me is worse. than just not saying anything. I can't begin to tell you how, like, even I experienced it where, I had no idea what's going on, and people are just acting as if I should know. Like, I'll give a quick example. I was working in this building. I've never been in this building before at all. Never. I had no idea where anything was. And one of the senior managers comes in, and he starts berating me because I can't find the cleaning closet. I have no idea where it is. And he's like, come on, guy, it's right here. And he opens up this door, and there's the cleaning closet. And it's like, how am I supposed to? I've never been in this building. I have no idea about that. It's literally my third day at this place. How am I supposed to know? No one showed me. No one, like, what am I going to do? Start opening up random doors and see what I find out? Like, again, I can't do that either because it's supposed to be a secured building. So anyways, the point is you got to have patience. And I guess that's really the whole point of what that video was. The Gen Z doesn't know how to change a light bulb video. You got to have patience. Okay. Not everybody's going to know what you think they should know. When I was an adult, I knew guys that didn't know how to do laundry, didn't know how to operate a washing machine, and they're supposed to be functioning adults. Okay? It just happens. People don't know what they don't know. And they don't, until they cross it, sometimes it's not important to them. They're not going to know. So rather than mock them, rather than belittle them for what they don't know, because we may think that it's important to know, instead teach them, educate them. Okay? And for those who are too proud to learn, don't waste your time. Just don't waste your time. It's too much. And I think that was the last, yes, that's the last comment. So, and now to final thoughts. So, as you've seen from this video, I can't begin to describe the words that I'm feeling right now. It's absolutely disgraceful what the Buffalo Public School District did and the media. You can't hate these people enough. They're covering up attempted abductions, sexual assault, rape. This could be one of your children. Would you feel comfortable knowing that these people are watching your children on a daily basis? If I had children, I wouldn't feel this way. I would not allow my children to be in the Buffalo School District. And I hope everyone here sees that not only is this happening in Buffalo, but this is happening nationwide on a daily basis. When I ran for public office, I spoke out about this, and the media did the exact same thing to me. Do not allow them to get away with this. Make sure your voice is heard. Go tweet, go comment on Facebook, wherever, whatever social media you want. Bring attention to it. Bring heat to these people because you cannot hate them enough. This is why the legacy media is in shambles right now. This is why public education is a laughing joke. I find it absolutely disgusting and disgraceful that the grown adults in the room, the trusted adults in this room, are doing this to our children. And I'm a special message to angry cops before I wrap up for today. As people may or may not have guessed, I'm not particularly a fan of, I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of cops. I am anti-corrupt systems. Typically, corrupt systems include the police, but in this case, Detective Richard High, even though he may have a checkered past, he is doing the right thing. Out of everybody involved in this situation, he's doing the right thing. And I want to say thank you, Detective. Thank you for all that you've done. I understand that, yes, you may have had outbursts of rage during your job. Who hasn't? We're only human. As long as you own up to what you've done in the past, that's fine. But at no time did his past have any reflection on what's going on here. At no time. We've seen multiple times that Individuals are brought down because that's easy, but a system is harder to bring down. How many child sex crimes has occurred at the Buffalo School District? How many times have police been called since 2021? You've seen that. You've seen the stats. That is disgusting. That is disgraceful. 17,000 times in 4 years. Think about that, my friends. Think about that. And we're letting our children go to these schools on a daily basis. I hope everyone shows the support and dedication that Richard Hyde has shown to us. We owe this man a debt. And I will do everything I can to make sure that this message is heard loud and proud. Because this is a cause I believe in. This is a cause that you should believe in. Anyways, I would like to thank all of you for being here today. Make sure to like and subscribe the video. Make sure to, if anything, broadcast this message. Make sure that it's heard from the tallest mountaintops, the tallest roofs. So that way everybody can know what the sins of the Buffalo School District is. Buffalo Public Schools, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed to call yourself parents and educators. Thank you again. Have a great day. Goodbye.